Hi guys, Vishnu here. Welcome to my channel once again. Welcome to Chess Simplicity. So, like I said yesterday, in this video, it's going to be a new concept, just the opposite of mobility. Last time we studied mobility, how can we control different squares and keep open lines and diagonals and attack the enemy pieces and on so and so. In this, we are going to understand how to restrict mobility of the pieces. That is, cutting the squares off so that you can restrict the mobility of the pieces, which gives you considerable advantage so that you can overpower your opponent. Okay, so I also wish all my viewers a very happy Navaratri. Today is the first day of Navaratri. So, like those who are non-Indians and Westerners who are not aware of Navaratri is a 9-day festival, and it symbolizes the victory of good over evil by the goddess Durga over a buffalo demon called Mahishasur. So it stretches over 9 days, and today is the first day. So I wish everyone a very happy Navaratri. Okay, so let's get into the position directly. Let's not wait anymore. So in this position, you can see that the black's position is completely cramped. His pawns are blocked. His king cannot move anywhere. A2 and B2 are under control of white. Only his bishop can move to A2, but if bishop moves to A2, then one of the knight can jump into C2 and it would be a checkmate. If bishop moves to A2, then the knight can come to C2 and checkmate. It's white, but only this bishop, black's bishop, is the dark squared bishop is able to move. But then it's white's turn to play, and white cuts off the squares that the bishop can move into by playing knight to E6. As you can see from this position that the bishop squares G7, F8, G5 and F4 are under the control of the knight now, and is blocked by its own pawn on E3, so this diagonal is completely blocked. So nothing can be done about the bishop. Now it's black's turn to play. Whatever black plays, he can only delay the mate by one move. Either he can play to any one of these squares, 4 squares, say he plays to bishop to G7. You can simply snatch knight G7, and then he is forced to play bishop A2. There is no other move he has got, black has got, and then knight simply comes to C2 and it will be checkmate. So this is an example just to explain the concept of cutting the squares off to restrict the mobility of your opponent. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Okay, in this example you see that a bishop is restricting the mobility of the knight. In the previous example you could see that the knight was restricting mobility of the bishop. Now a bishop can relatively more easily cut off the squares of a knight because of its power. It's a long range piece. So you can see here that this knight on h8 and b8 cannot move anywhere. All these squares under the control of the light squared bishops. It's an artificially created concept just to explain these mobility of the cutting of the squares of the board. Okay. So you can use this kind of trick once in a while when you get a chance to play so that you can restrict the movements of your opponent, and it gives you great advantage, because when you can't move your pieces to better active squares, gradually the opponent's position will get cramped because he doesn't have any good squares to move into. Okay, this position occurred in an actual game between Grandmaster Paul Keres and I think it's Alexander Koto. I'm not sure what his first name is, but it's Koto. Well, Paul Keres is famous for his end games. Well, if it is Alexander Koto who is playing black, then he's also famous for authoring a book called Think Like a Grandmaster, which is a very good book on which tells you how to think. It's like a tree of analysis and so many other things the book talks about. Okay, so in this position you can see that it's white's turn to move, and the material is pretty much equal. Both of them have 2 knights each, 2 bishops each, 1 queen and rook each. 3-3-6 pawns each, 3-3-6 pawns each. But it's white's turn to play. And white, but you can also observe that the black's king is still stuck in the center. So white is immediately starting to take exploiting this position, this awkward position of his king by playing knight to e5. Now you can see that if d e5 happens, then it's queen d8 is checkmate. But if you don't take this knight, then you're going to lose your queen. This queen doesn't have any place to go. See, you can see these two bishops are controlling this diagonal, h3 c8 diagonal and a5 d8 diagonal. All these squares which are marked in yellow are under the control of white, and this queen cannot move anywhere. Not b5, not a4, b6, c7, c8, d8, d7 and d5, nowhere. And it is under attack too. So black resigned in this position after knight e5. There's nothing that he can do about it. Either he has to lose his queen or it's checkmate. So this is a very simple and a clear example on how to restrict the opponent's pieces, the mobility, the movement of their pieces. You just have to control the squares that they can move into with your pieces so that they can get an upper hand. Okay guys, this brings an end to this video, and if you liked such more content like this, please post it in the comments. And if you did like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. It's Vishnu once again, signing off from Chess Simplicity. Thank you all, take care of yourself, good night, and once again I wish you all a happy Navaratri. Thank you, bye bye.
Thank you.